Okay, so if you're a serious audit professional, you already know AI is completely changing the game. But who's actually making sure it's controlled, compliant, and doing what it's supposed to? Well, that's exactly where ISACA's Advanced in AI Audit Certification, or AAIA, comes in. So let's break down what it takes to get this credential and why it might just be the most important career move you can make right now. And that's really the core question, isn't it? As companies are scrambling to roll out AI, they're also getting pretty desperate for assurance that it's all being done responsibly. This is that critical gap, and experienced auditors, well, you're the ones being called to fill it. All right, so first things first, let's really unpack what the AIIA certification is all about and why, honestly, it's become so essential in such a short amount of time. So the AAIA is basically ISACA's answer to this huge demand. And listen, this is not an entry-level cert, not at all. It's a specialized credential that's built for auditors who are already seasoned pros. The whole point is to prove that you've got the advanced skills to govern, assess, and audit the incredibly complex AI systems that are being rolled out as we speak. You know, this isn't some general, hey, I know about AI certification. No way. The AIIA is laser focused on the actual practice of auditing AI. It's specifically designed to build on top of those flagship credentials like the CISA, CIA, or CPA. It validates that next level of AI-specific skills that employers are desperate for as they try to build digital trust. Okay, so let's get practical. The very first step for anyone even thinking about this is making sure you actually meet the prerequisites. ISACA was really smart about this. They designed it for people who've already proven they have a solid foundation in audit. And the prerequisite is crystal clear. You have to hold one of these accepted certifications. And this is important. It has to be active and in good standing. So before you even start thinking about study materials, your very first move is to just confirm you've got one of these under your belt.
All right, so you're eligible. Great. The next step is to really understand what you're up against. Let's decode the structure of the AAIA exam itself.
So here are the nuts and bolts. We're looking at a 90-question multiple-choice exam, and you've got 2.5 hours to get it done. You've got some flexibility here, too. You can take it at a PSI test center or, depending on where you are, through remote proctoring. And it's offered in both English and Spanish. Now, this slide, this is your blueprint. This is your study guide right here. You got to notice, this isn't an evenly split exam, not even close. ISACA is basically telling you exactly where to focus your energy and where the emphasis needs to be. Let me just spell this out for you. AI operations is a massive 46% of the exam, almost half. This domain covers the entire AI lifecycle. We're talking development, testing, and monitoring for really tricky stuff like model bias or performance drift. So why the heavy focus? Well, because that's where the biggest real-world risks are hiding. To pass this thing, AI operations has to be your #1 priority, period. Knowing what's on the exam is one thing, right? But actually conquering it is something else entirely. So let's map out a structured 90-day game plan to get you from day one all the way to a passing score. But first, here's a really powerful mindset shift I want you to consider. Your goal shouldn't just be to memorize a bunch of facts for a test. It should be to build a practical, real-world AI audit toolkit as you go. Think policy templates, control sets, work papers, stuff you can literally use on the job from day one. So here's what that 90-day journey looks like. You're going to spend the first 5 weeks building a super solid foundation in governance and risk. Then you'll dedicate a concentrated 3-week block to that all-important AI operations domain. The last few weeks are all about honing your practical skills with tools and mock exams before a final week of review. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And this quote right here, it just nails the whole strategy. When you create these tangible things, your own checklists, your own control sets, it does 2 things. First, it makes the information stick in your brain for the exam. But second, and maybe more importantly, it gives you immediate value and makes you better at your job right away. All right, let's talk about the payoff. Passing the exam is the goal, sure, but what's the actual return on all this time and money? Let's get into the career value. First, let's look at the cold, hard numbers. There's a really obvious financial benefit to being an ISACA member. The exam fee drops pretty significantly, from $599 for non-members all the way down to $459 for members. It's pretty simple math. If you're not already an ISACA member, that $140 you save on the exam could cover a huge chunk of the membership fee itself. And that's not even counting all the other benefits you get. It's definitely something to think about. Of course, getting the certification is just the beginning. To keep it, you'll need to submit your application within 5 years of passing the exam. You'll also have to earn 10 AI-specific CPEs every year, pay a small maintenance fee, and, this is a big one, you have to keep that underlying prerequisite certification active.
So why go through all this trouble? Well, because earning the AIIA sends a powerful signal to your employer and future employers that you can lead the AI assurance agenda. It shows you're aligned with massive regulatory changes like the EU AI Act, and it proves you can speak the language of critical frameworks like the NIST AI Risk Management Framework.
Look, at the end of the day, this is what it all comes down to. The AIIA certification positions you to be that essential, go-to expert for AI audit in your organization. You become the person who can provide credible assurance and lead from the very front line of building digital trust in this new era.
So I'll just leave you with this question. AI isn't coming anymore. It's here. Your organization is using it, and they need people who can provide assurance. The real question is, are you going to be ready to lead that agenda?